Hello friends, you are welcome to Anchor Network where you get updates of things happening around you. I appreciate every one of you that have subscribed to this channel, and if you have not subscribed, I say thank you very much because I know that at the end of this news you are going to subscribe, and I want you to press the red button and also the bell icon so that you'll be notified anytime we publish any news. Thank you very much once again. Magu came to beg me for Senate confirmation, Saraki blast in new letter. The immediate past president of the Nigerian Senate, Dr. Bukola Saraki, has alleged that the acting chairman of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, Ibrahim Magu, visited him in 2016 and begged him to influence his confirmation by the Senate. According to Saraki, he explained to Magu that the Department of State Services, DSS, had written a letter to the Senate accusing the EFCC boss of corruption and being unfit to hold the office and thus should not be confirmed. He said this in a new letter addressed to the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court, Justice Adamu Abdul Kafariti. Saraki's letter was written in response to a previous letter written by the EFCC to the Chief Judge. The EFCC, in a letter sent to Abdul Kafariti on May 21st, accused Justice Taiwo of being biased against it. Saraki had filed a fundamental human rights suit before Justice Taiwo, who in turn granted an ex parte order restraining the Commission and 5 other agencies of the federal government from continuing its investigations of certain corruption allegations against him. However, in a protest letter signed by Magu, the EFCC requested the reassignments of the 2 ex-governors' cases and all other ones involving it in the judge's docket to another judge of the court. In his own letter, however, Saraki said the EFCC was after him because Magu believed he had a hand in his confirmation. The letter read in part, "Your Lordship, Mr. Magu, after his nomination, came to see me, pleading that I should do my best to help him during the screening process. During that meeting, I made it clear that I had no objection to his nomination and revealed to him in confidence that he needed to go and clear himself with DSS because the report on him was unfavorable. In fact, I bent backwards to let him read the content of the indicted security report submitted on him. Also, I decided to delay the screening to give him ample time to get the DSS to change the report. As it eventually turned out, he was unable to get the adverse DSS report reversed." Saraki, who was the chairman of the 8th National Assembly, said the acting EFCC boss had since been hounding him. He said the DSS actually sent 2 letters against Magu, and it was the belief of the agency that confirming the nomination of such a man would be inimical to the war against corruption, the former Senate President wrote. "My Lord, Mr. Magu is after me because he feels that as the president of the 8th Senate, I was responsible for the non-confirmation of his appointment, whereas the reason his appointment was not confirmed is all too familiar. An agency of the executive which nominated him, the DSS, sent 2 reports to the Senate in which it categorically stated that Magu failed the integrity test, that his confirmation would shackle the EFCC from effectively tackling corruption in the country and hampering the anti-corruption drive of the President Muhammadu Buhari administration." He said it was in a bid to ensure transparency that the Senate allowed Magu's screening to be aired live on television. Saraki, who was governor of Kwara State from 2003 to 2011, urged the CG to ignore the EFCC's request, even as he added that all the allegations levied against him were not different from the charges filed before the Code of Conduct Tribunal, which were quashed by the Supreme Court. The former Senate president said it was funny that all the agencies which were restrained by the court, it was only the EFCC that was attacking a judicial officer for doing his job, saying this goes to show that the commission and its leadership are unnecessarily mischievous and overzealous. He called on the CJ to ignore the EFCC petition against him. Wow, these 2 gentlemen, Saraki and Magu, they've been, going back and forth, accusing each other that you are corrupt, you are not corrupt, and the two of them, they have a alleged corrupt cases over them. And the reason why Magu is still in the position of acting boss of EFCC is that because of the report the DSS or SS wrote against him. And just like Saraki said, the whole thing was aired on live TV, and it was made open to everybody when they were screening him, and they asked him some kind of questions. They said he failed the integrity test. And meanwhile, the report that came from the executive, it was the executive that really nominated Magu, and the same executive, the arm of the executive, wrote a damning results or report concerning the Magu. And just like Saraki said, go and clear your name from your people or from those people, and it will make our work to be much easier. If you don't do that, there's nothing I can do. I'm really handicapped in this matter. So that is what they are been talking, going back and forth. So who is going to investigate who? And meanwhile, from the recent report from EFCC have now said that Saraki will soon have his day in court. That no matter the kind of antics that Saraki is playing, that he must have his day in court. The EFCC alleges that Saraki is resorting to championing campaign of calumny against its chairman, Ibrahim Magu. The anti-corruption agency says the investigation of Saraki is not personal and has nothing to do with the Senate refusal to confirm him. EFCC said on Sunday, June 30th, that no amount of media campaign against its chairman, Ibrahim Magu, will stop the prosecution of Bukola Saraki, the former president of the Senate. The EFCC said this in a statement by Tony Urilade, its spokesperson in Abuja. The anti-corruption agency said it was aware of the false claim made by Saraki, who is facing investigation in Nigeria. He seems to have chosen outside the shores of Nigeria as the launch pad of his campaign of calumny against the EFCC and its leadership. He seems to have chosen the shore of Nigeria in order to launch its campaign against the commission. The new agency of Nigeria reports that the agency made particularly reference to a report published in a Nigerian newspaper on June 30th, 2019, in which it was claimed that Magu begged Saraki for his confirmation as chairman of the EFCC. According to EFCC, Saraki deviously chose to divert attention from the weighty allegations of financial fraud trailing his 8 years stewardship in Kwara and leadership of the Senate. Instead, he is coming up with a lot of allegations or a lot of reasons on why the Chief Judge of the Federal High Court should ignore the request of the EFCC seeking the transfer of its case from Justice Taiwo, who curiously granted ex parte order to restrain the commission from performing its statutory duties, the statement said. So, who is going to, just like the question I asked now, who is going to investigate who? Saraki is claiming that Magu has some corruption cases, levied against him by the executive. So, guys, I would like you guys to deliberate on this. I would like you to put your comment down in the comment section. Thank you very much for always listening. Bye.